Well, this is not the direction that I thought we'd be going over when it comes to the Buffalo Sabres. Because today, we are talking about another one of these first overall pick left-handed defensemen on the team, and no, we are not referring to the great Rasmus Dahlin. We're talking today about Owen Power, the other first overall pick that Buffalo made. And I say that kind of tongue-in-cheek. I know that sounds really disrespectful, but Owen Power's a fine player. He's 23 years old, a big dude, 6'6", 225, left-handed player, and he signed on till the end of 2031, making $8.35 million a year. Oh man, what a big juicy deal to have received for Owen Power right after his entry-level contract. Which, if I'm going to be honest here, I don't necessarily think Power has played up to that level. I mean, yeah, he started out his career after being a Michigan Wolverines guy, the very first overall pick in nearly 20 years to not make the jump to the NHL right after getting drafted and instead spend the majority of his draft plus one season back with the team he was drafted from. Owen Power did that. He was a Wolverine for another season, then he joined Buffalo, had two back-to-back 30-plus point seasons, and then had a 40-point season in 2024-2025. This previous campaign, he had 29 points in 81 games, but considerably upped his production with 6 assists in 13 playoff games as the Sabres lost in round 2 to Montreal. Power has steadily grown and gotten better. And he was taken first overall because this was a guy that at his peak could be maybe a combination of the skating and head-manning ability of, let's just say, a Philip Broberg, plus the size and physical tools that are essentially unmatched. I mean, how many 6'6", 225 guys do you know that are capable of just leading a rush and taking the puck by himself and dangling through guys? That's what Owen Power was doing with the Chicago Steel in his draft -1, and then sort of doing with the Michigan Wolverines. He wasn't doing it amazingly well in his draft-eligible campaign, but it's why he decided to go back. He said, I wasn't ready. I gotta spend one more year in Michigan. I gotta refine my game, and that's what he did. Best case scenario, Owen Power was seen as a potential top-pairing guy. He's not there yet, but the question as to whether or not he'll do that with the Buffalo Sabres has all of a sudden been introduced. Take a look at what the Fourth Period wrote about a few days ago on June 11th. Some teams appear curious about Sabres blue liner Owen Power. If Alex Tuch walks, and that seems to be the plan, unless the Sabres step up their offer right now, could Buffalo explore moving Power for a top-line winger? Oh boy. Cue the trade speculation, baby, because Alex Tuch, it looks like he is going to determine a pretty significant part of the direction that the Buffalo Sabres may go down this summer. If Tuch leaves, which it seems like he will based off of all the reports, maybe Owen Power could be trade bait in order to acquire a first-line winger. Now, I know what you might be thinking, wait a minute, why would the Sabres trade away Power if they actually like this guy? Why not just trade away Bowen Byram? This is a more movable piece, after all, right? Byram is making less money for less term. He is considerably better point production-wise, so why not trade away Byram? It's because Byram, he's a 4th overall pick that ended up being a Stanley Cup champion with Colorado. He's already been reported to have having maybe some issues with the other teams that he's been a part of, and his name has already been tossed out there in trade ideas. For Owen Power, there is still this belief that he's an untapped unicorn that is just waiting for a breakout campaign. I'd say it's a reasonable assumption amongst people working in NHL teams that Owen Power has the tools to potentially supersede what Bowen Byram is at 25 years old. Power is 23, so he's 2 years younger than the guy, but that size and skill combo is so rare that I would assume that the factors that got Power drafted first overall in the first place are still going to be doing a lot of lifting when it comes to carrying this guy's reputation and making him seen as a valuable trade piece. Now, for what it's worth, we did have ourselves an extra expansion on the Owen Power trade conversation. David Pagnotta said this on Daily Faceoff a few days ago. Here is Canucks News Summaries' summary on the Owen Power situation. Big shout out over to Canucks News Summaries. Love the work that you do. Here is what is talked about in regards to Owen Power. There is a lot of chatter around the 2025 trade deadline that Power was open to a trade, but that does not seem to be the case anymore. The Sabres do not have the cap space to sign Tuch, Zach Benson, and Michael Kesselring, and there is speculation that Power could be traded for a top 6 winger. The folks on the Fourth Period show connect Mason McTavish as a possible trade return. Now, that goes hand in hand with the Alex Tuch conversation, which happened earlier in that show, but now all of a sudden it does seem like an Owen Power trade is not pure lunacy. There is a possibility that this guy gets tossed out there as trade bait for some sort of a top-line forward, or maybe even a Mason McTavish. Could you imagine the Anaheim Ducks with Owen Power? He would be a perfect Duck. He would fit right in there as a big physical guy who has a lot more skill than Radko Gudas and Jacob Trouba, and if everything goes right, he could develop into a superstar defenseman alongside of that physical core. Cutter Gauthier, Leo Carlson. I mean, Buffalo, they had a really good development run with Power, but Anaheim, they have a specific type of guy that they seem to covet a lot, and Power fits the bill tremendously. Going back over onto Twitter here, you can finally start seeing a lot of the response from Sabres fans. It's not going well. A lot of fans are getting all ticked off about this idea. Tage for Heart says, I need you guys to hear this. Moving Power would be a massive mistake for the Buffalo Sabres. You have no idea how much he actually does for this team and this decor. Shut up about trading Owen Power. Another reply says, if you're moving Owen Power, it's for a proven number 1 center, not a winger. LMAO. Now, I don't really know if that's actually possible. Owen Power for a number 1C? I don't know about that. Nobody is moving a proven number 1C for Power. Jesus Christ, man. Why not? He was originally rumored to be part of the Robert Thomas negotiations originally. Yeah, so you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about that. We are now at the trade Owen Power for a winger stage of the offseason, which means it's time to get outside and enjoy the weather. Maybe that's ultimately the conclusion we should take from all this, right? Owen Power was first overall 5 years ago. Has he broken out into a number 1D yet? Probably not. I think it's fair to say he hasn't done that. He's getting paid like a number 1D. At least, if that number 1D was getting paid in the pre-flat cap era. But still, Power is making a decent amount of money. If teams still covet the potential that lays within, maybe he could be seen as a top-tier trade target. Could he fetch a Mason McTavish or another top-line center or something? Who really knows? Could he fetch Brady Tkachuk or Jason Robertson? Probably not. I would say that's not an ideal trade return. I mean, it would be ideal for Buffalo. If you had the opportunity to acquire Brady Tkachuk for Owen Power, I think you'd probably do it, but there's no way Ottawa's doing that, right? No way. No way Dallas is trading J-Rob for Owen Power. What is the obsession from NHL media people in trying to make trading Power a thing? It's not happening. Did they just look at tweets from the people who ate lead paint chips in the 70s and think this was a good idea? Go watch Jarmo Kekalainen talk about Power at the end of season press conference. So, Sabres fans are passionately defending their guy. Does not seem like there is any interest from the fan base in trading Owen Power. But when David Pagnotta goes out there and talks about whether or not this guy's actually on the move, we got to make a video about it, so you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If Tuch goes, is Power next to follow? Thoughts in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video. Rolls 99. What is Power really worth in a trade? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And bye.